This next story I'd like to share with you about Jason has been an ongoing battle now for probably the better part of a decade. I'm not exactly sure of the origin of this battle. It goes back and forth between me and Jason. It involves a little toilet humor. And now everything is safe for children here. We don't do anything that would be not safe for children to hear, but it is rather amusing, at least for me. Jason did suffer a little bit on this one. Not physical suffering, a little more mental anguish on this one. A little embarrassment on his part, too. So, again, I don't know how this all started, but for many years now, Jason and I, while we talk on the phone, we somehow this started. I don't remember how. Maybe Jason would remember how. I don't. But we like to flush the toilet while we're talking on the phone to one another. Now, Jason has been flushed from foreign countries, from Hawaii, and of course, at each flushing, there is a yee yee yee. That is a mandatory thing. There's there is a yee that goes along with each flushing. I have flushed Jason from on board a cruise ship. I have flushed Jason from a hotel room in New Orleans, a hotel room or not a hotel room, but in Hawaii, when I was in Hawaii. I flushed him from foreign countries. I'm sorry about that. He has been flushed from many, many different places, including, of course, my own home. He's even been flushed in his own home. As a matter of fact, I believe I flushed on him on his wedding day, actually. Now, when I say a toilet is flushed, that does not mean somebody is using the bathroom. It just means that the toilet gets flushed. And it's kind of amusing because I think back to the old TV show All in the Family. The first time that was put on TV, Archie Bunker, and the flushing of the toilet from the other room. But Jason has, and make no mistake, he has done it to me plenty of times. And of course, if you make the mistake of not picking up your phone, it's then recorded onto your voicemail. But on this particular instance, I happened to be talking to Jason one morning while he was on his way to work. Now, he had at the time, a relatively new car, and he had bought I believe it was a brand new car. It was a Hyundai Elantra. I believe that car ended up getting totaled in a car accident, and he replaced it with a different Hyundai Elantra. So not the car he's currently driving, but the one that he previously owned. And he was on his way to work one morning, and as he did on, I don't want to say many occasions, but occasionally he would stop by at a local fast food restaurant. I'm not quite certain which fast food restaurant it was. I believe it might have been the Hardee's, and I think it was in Oshkosh at the time. And he's going through the drive-thru, and I'm talking to him over his brand new car's speakerphone. He's got me on speaker through his car, and it's coming through the car radio. And I'm talking to him as he's heading to work in the morning. And he says, "Oh, just a minute, I have to stop and go through the drive-thru here at the restaurant." So he pulls up, and I can hear the person who's at the counter over the microphone. Can I take your order, please? And Jason made his order, and it was breakfast. It was some kind of breakfast sandwich, and I don't know exactly what he ordered. But he got up to the window. And at the window, the person who was collecting the money opened the door and said that would be, I forget the total, I think it was $7 and change. Let's say $7.69, whatever it was. But what was significant about that was when they opened the door and said that will be $7.69, the door needed a little bit of maintenance. It squeaked when it opened. So it went like this. Squeak. That'll be $7.69. And Jason handed them, I believe it was a $10 bill. And next thing you know, it was squeak, slam. The door slammed shut. And a couple seconds later, squeak. Here's your change. I'll be right back with your food. Now, being as you are privileged to know, and then it was followed with a squeak slam. The door, the door, the window at the drive-through needed some oil. It was squeaking when it opened, and it was a young lady. I could tell by the voice that it was a young lady, a woman, and noticing these things and noticing our history with my history with Jason and the flushing of the toilet, I prepared myself in the bathroom. And a few moments later, that drive-through window opened and a squeak, and she says, "Here is your," and I had pushed the flusher on my toilet, and across Jason's radio in his car, the speakers in his car, you could hear the big whoosh of the toilet, and it came over the speakers, and it stopped the restaurant employee in her tracks. She says, "Here is your," and then she just stopped. She didn't say anything else because she heard the whoosh over his phone, or over his, which was on the speakers in his car, and. And Jason, I forget the exact quote that he used, but he made some kind of comment like, "Never mind." He grabbed the food and drove off. And of course, that is a day that will live in infamy in our relationship. I did share this story at the wedding reception after my big reveal, and I think I did mention, Jason, that it does belong on this channel, but there have been many yees over the flushing of the toilet, but Jason has yet to top the time that I flushed him over his car's brand new car speaker at the drive-through while he was getting breakfast one morning, and how it stopped the restaurant employee cold in her tracks. She was not able to finish her statement to him about here was the rest of his food. And so for that one, Jason, I get the ultimate yee yee yee.